As you journey through the outer realms, you will come across great heavens where the mightiest of gods and flights of angels watch over eternal plains of gold and silver. You will see places of mechanized perfection, where order is absolute to the point of suffocation. You will see places of great evil, where the worst mortal dregs are sent to be punished or transformed into horrific demons and fiendish devils. But were you to travel away from those plains, to a place that is neither good nor evil, and far, far away from the realms of order, you may come to a maddening place. A plane that has no desire to corrupt or control, a place beyond the squabbles of good and evil, a place that mortals have taken to call Limbo. Limbo has no true form. Its geography, if you can even call it that, is in constant flux. The majority of the plane is an endless puddle of swirling quicksilver and empty space racked with constant storms that appear and disappear at random. The four elements leak their way into it, given the only true consistency of the place. It forms hunks of flying rocks and crystals, massive gusts of wind, pockets of liquid, or fire that burns without fuel. These elemental pockets can vary greatly in size, with the largest of them being the expanse of an entire kingdom on the prime material plane, and supports small ecosystems on their backs. The realm has no gravity, save for those created by the floating land masses. Any object thrown would keep moving until it struck something, or was struck in turn. Objects with no outside force behind them will simply float in place. This includes living creatures. Despite the ever-changing nature of the plane, a few have taken to mapping out Limbo, an impossible task by definition, were it not for the realm's inhabitants. Yes, there is life in Limbo. This life is used to categorize the plane into 5 layers, each layer representing who or what is dominant there. The first layer of Limbo is named Githzerai, for the people that have settled here. When the Illithid Empire fell and the Gith were freed from slavery, a few of them wished to escape the genocidal crusade of their cousins and fled across the astral sea into Limbo. Here, through sheer power of will and psionic force, did the Githzerai construct a city, not just a shelter from the chaos of Limbo, but a fully thriving civilization. The colonization of the Githzerai was such a success that they even conduct trade with other planes, most notably Isgard, home of the Norse pantheon, and those creatures that fly in on spelljammers from the astral sea. The second layer is called Susanoo, named after the god of seas and storms. His layer of Limbo is a massive spherical bubble, half filled with water and air. The water is a sea teeming with life, but constantly racked by the stormy winds whipped up by the god himself. Be careful when speaking to Susanoo, for his temper can shift like the winds. The third layer is Agni, named for the twin-headed god of fire. His sphere is one of pure flame that floats through the other 4 layers of Limbo at his will, burning whatever he sees fit. Ordinarily, he stays closest to the elemental plane of fire, but for some reason refuses to enter the elemental plane. No one knows why, and no one dare ask. Indra is the 4th layer, named for a deity of skies and thunder. His sphere is a massive turtle the size of an island. The turtle itself swims in a small sea of enchanted milk. This milk is said to taste sweet and creamy, leaving you full and satisfied. A single drink of this enchanted milk can rid your body of fatigue, disease, and even poison. The turtle holds a massive palace on its back and is surrounded by clouds. Indra himself is calmer than Susanoo or Agni. However, once his fury has been roused, it is like a terrible storm that can demolish almost anything. But being the most amicable of the gods that live in Limbo, he receives the most visitors. The final layer of Limbo is one that no creature, god or mortal, has ever returned from. It is called the Lair of Lost Gods, a holy, wild chaos. It is unknown just who or what is down there. But how can these gods and mortals turn the ever-changing chaos of Limbo into hospitable terrain? That is because Limbo, by its very nature, is malleable, susceptible to the influence of those who live within it. Should you be unfortunate enough to find yourself in the plane of chaos, then the only way to remain safe from the plane's own chaotic nature is to impose your will upon it. The elders of the Githzerai speak of it thusly: by visualizing what you wish the world around you to be, and then projecting that vision outward through sheer force of will, you can turn the space around you into something else. Something less likely to kill you, or more likely to kill your enemies. Doing so requires a strong will and a very sharp mind. Even then, only those with sufficient training can make a habitable space large enough for more than just themselves. Such a technique takes even the most gifted of the Githzerai decades to master. We mold the matter of Limbo with our minds. We forge cities with our thoughts. In its chaos we dwell, with only our knowing to preserve us. We are the Githzerai. The Githzerai were already a people naturally gifted in psionics. More than that, they had the will to endure enslavement by the horrific illithids, the Mind Flayers. This gave them an edge in adapting to the ever-changing chaos of Limbo. Even still, their new home was extremely hostile and unforgiving. In order to survive as a people, the Githzerai trained, honing their minds to reject the chaos of the plane and bend it to their will. They found, too, that if their species held one singular will together, they were far more potent than a group of individuals with different visions for their people. By synchronizing their minds and wills to a single goal, the influence they held over the plane became much greater than the sum of its parts, leading to the foundation of the city of Githzerai. Generation after generation of this lifestyle has turned the Githzerai into a focused, aloof, and monastic people, training their minds and bodies every day of their lives. The ultimate test of skill in controlling both inner and outer chaos is for a Githzerai to be sent outside the walls of their city, left to endure the unrestrained chaos of Limbo, where they will either perish, go mad, or return a true master. They are a people in complete control of themselves, control over their bodies, their minds, and even their emotions. So much so that an outsider may view the Githzerai as emotionless beings. This is not the case. Their emotions are simply kept on a very short leash, for that is the only way they have survived. The Githzerai are not the only inhabitants of Limbo, however. There is another species that was born out of the unbridled chaos of this place. Massive, bipedal, frog-like creatures, with huge heads, bulbous eyes, and wide mouths filled with tiny, sharp teeth. These creatures, known as the Slaad, vary greatly in size, color, and power, as difficult to document as their home. Some are massive, ogre-sized brutes, others are masters of sorcery and manipulation. They lack common concepts of possession, but they love conflict. Often they travel to other realms for the clash of forces, and to revel in the chaos their presence brings. The most terrifying thing about the Slaad are not their varied forms or alien minds, but in how they reproduce. Slaad reproduction could only be done by the adult forms of red and blue Slaads. The red ones infect a living host with its claws, injecting a single minuscule egg into their bodies. Once the egg was put beneath the host's skin, it would devour the host from the inside out, emerging from the deflated corpse as a large tadpole. The blue Slaad would infect their host with a disease called chaos phage that physically transformed its victim into a new Slaad within a matter of weeks, robbing them of their former memories and personality. Those who possess magical power that were infected with either a Slaad egg or Chaos Phage would retain this power once fully transformed, becoming the most dangerous species of these chaotic frogmen. Despite the danger, there are many that would seek out the realm of Limbo. Limbo itself is a popular destination for the famed Modron March. Once every 289 years will tens of thousands of Modrons, mechanical beings from the realm of Order, travel to the outer planes to collect information. Many of these beings make their way to Limbo, for there is no data more desirable than that of chaos. More commonly, though, are the exotic traders from other realms that visit the first layer of Limbo, to acquire the natural curiosities of the plane, or learn the secrets and receive training from the Githzerai. All natural resources can be found here, from gold and precious gems to exotic animals and plants. The most highly valued resource of Limbo itself is shift spice, a rare substance that was liquid yet slightly gelatinous, like milk halfway turned to butter, and each time you taste it, it tastes different. This unique spice is so sought after that most traders will not sell it for mere gold, demanding magic items or other exotic goods for trade. Limbo itself was not so far removed from the goings-on of the rest of the universe. The event known as the Spellplague rattled the very foundations of creation. All the universe shook as the goddess of magic Mystra was slain, and the weave of magic sputtered and flew out of control. In those brief yet catastrophic moments, Limbo was shook from its perch and sent plummeting down into the elemental chaos, where it still resides to this day. We must leave Limbo behind now. I can feel my focus waning, and I can hear the fetid croaking of the Slaad. We must get back to the prime material plane, or be forever lost in the ever-changing chaos. Thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did and you want to see more like it, why not click that subscribe button, hit the like button, maybe share the video with a friend? It all goes a great way to helping the channel, and I really appreciate it. Special thanks to my patron to adding a little bit of order into my life of utter chaos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!